women have been fighting for these rights. Bank account we've talked about before.
Yeah.
1972. What's interesting is, do you know how old Trump was in 1972?
20-something?
26 years old. So he was 25, and women still couldn't have a bank account.
Right.
Biden was 30. Kamala was 8. The average age of Congress was 10 at that time, and the average age of the Senate was 16 at that time.
What do you mean?
Meaning, if you take the average age of the Senate,
Yeah, like the people
currently, yes. If you take that average
they were 10
age,
at the time.
They were been 10 at that time.
Got it.
How about to buy a home? 1974 was when they no longer needed a male cosigner. Trump was 28, Biden was 32, Kamala was 10, Congress was 12, Senate was 18. Women were getting paid 60% less than men for the same job in 1970. That's when Trump was 24 and Biden was 28. This is the culture they're growing up in.
Yeah.
No wonder why the ERA hasn't passed. Like, the oldest member of the Senate is 91.
We often think of the age of people in office, but like to your point, we don't often think about the environment they grew up in and how different it is from now.
Yes.
And it's not just their cognitive ability or not knowing technology now.
Yeah.
It's also like you were raised in came into like maturity in your prime in a different world and a different time. Yeah. And we need people that are more in touch, because not just because of the present, because when they were raised and when they came of age and stuff. Because like all that wiring that's done to you as a kid and as an adolescent, like that stays with you. And if you're wired that, oh, women make 60% less than men, and that whole idea of women inferiority is just like infused in you as a kid and as an adolescent, unless you do some work when you're older to grow out of it, like that's still in you somewhere, and you're 80-something years old and in Congress.
Right. What's the oldest person you'd allow to babysit our child?
Oh.
That you would trust that their cognitive capacities could keep our child.
Maybe like 75?
Trump is older than that.
Isn't Trump like 80, 81?
Well, he was born in 1946.
So he's 78.
Like
then you got Kamala, who's like, how old is she?
She was born. Well, her and Walls were both born in 64.
Well, I forgot they were the same age because Walls looks so much older. What's interesting about Kamala and Walls and their age is that when did they grow up? The 60s, the 70s, when all of the civil rights and all the women's liberation stuff's going on, and that's what they were wired with when they were young.
Like, they saw major reform.